Hello again everyone, Armando here from DLC Model Builders, and I am beginning a new build, the Cardassian Galor class ship. This is the old AMT Erdl kit. Does not list the scale, but it's a good size model, and I decided to build this kit as my first ship build in a couple of months. As you know, I have the Kira on hold for now, although that will soon be completed, and I am in the process of doing my refit, but of course that is a very slow build. And I had completed my Cylon Raider, and I had been doing some figure builds. I just finished Green Goblin, so I realized I hadn't done a adversary ship yet, and I asked my son, well, which one would you like me to build? And we have been watching Star Trek Deep Space Nine, so he, after some thinking, decided, why don't you do the Cardassian? I said, sounds good to me, so here we are. I've already begun drilling windows. That's what I've been doing for the past couple of hours. The windows are rectangular and they're very small. As you can see, that one's already got a little hole. And I've been doing the rest of them. Most of them have been alright. Some haven't come out as good. That's inevitably the way that these things are done with the drill. You can never get them perfectly rectangular, but since they're so tiny, when you look at them from far away, they're going to look just fine when the ship is built. I've been looking at some reference pics. This ship per se does not have blinking red and green navigation lights like the Federation ships, but it does have some interesting lighting on the sides. And I do plan on doing all that lighting. As you can see, the deflector in front from which the phaser fires is blue, and it is a clear piece in the kit. There's also some really cool triangular orange lights, and the color of the ship itself is extremely cool. So there's some nice coloring here, unusual coloring. This ship doesn't look like anything else in the Star Trek universe, so it should look really cool. More progress on my Cardassian Galor class. I completed drilling the windows all along the sides, at least all the ones that are showing on the surface. There are some that show on builds and reference pictures which will be on the sides, and those I will have to figure out how to place in the correct positions. I guess I'll use the reference pictures, and that'll have to be done after I'm done light blocking, which is what I've been doing tonight. I went ahead and got the side panels all drilled out also and glued them in place. The side panels are these things right here. They go from here to here on either side, and they glue in and fix in position the wings of the warp nacelles, I guess. Yeah, those are the warp nacelles. And then I went ahead and applied several coats of Transtar Black primer to light block, and I'm almost there. This half is completely light blocked. This one still has some seams along the sides that you can probably tell will require a bit more light blocking. Let me see if I can show you. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I got them. Let's see. Well, maybe a little bit there. You can see there's some light leakage. I'll hit that some more tomorrow after this dries. But I've got almost all of it light blocked, and once I do, I will coat with a white primer, and then I will have the inside light blocked and coated with white, so it'll be perfect for lighting. Now, as far as lighting, I still haven't decided how to do all of it, but I've been inspecting some of the pictures, and I will be placing lights according to the reference pics I have from the Eagle Moss model, most likely. This kit doesn't have navigation lights per se, red and green, but it does have several beacon lights all along the sides, as well as some really cool dark yellow amber type lights that go here on these sides, and impulse lights. It also has some lighting in the back tail, which I haven't attached yet, which will be kind of cool. I'll probably use either small SMDs or fiber optic, and more than likely SMDs to get them lit. But it's coming along. So tomorrow I'll continue working on the light blocking, and then painting it white on the inside, and then proceed from there. The next step will probably be figuring out where to put all the lights and what kind of lights to do. We'll talk about that some more in that next segment. Talk to you soon. Continuing with my Cardassian Galor class, I have finished the light blocking with the black primer and then coated with white primer to increase the reflectivity on the inside, and I've gone ahead and installed the lights for the windows. Let me show you how I distributed them. I got excellent distribution. All the windows light up beautifully. This is how I placed my LEDs. This is warm white LEDs, double density. I placed, as you can see, 2 strips in the center and 1 across, and strips on the sides here, and then 2 strips here to shine onto these windows right there. The result is excellent. Let me show you. As you saw, it was lit before. When I close it up, aside from the obvious light leaks, which I will take care of eventually, the windows light up beautifully. Of course, I'll have to use canopy glue to tone them down a bit, because you can see shining. As you can see, the flickering, those are the LEDs as I swing by. Obviously I have massive light leaks on the sides there, which I'll have to take care of, but the distribution works to perfection. It's the way to go as far as lighting the windows. So that's the first step of lighting. Next, I will work on the deflector dish. I think I'll go ahead and do a partition there, and I have settled on lighting it as red. I have seen multiple builds and multiple versions with red and with blue and even white, but I found the best one that I like right here, and it is the version I will be using. Let me see if I can pull this up. You can't see it very well on that one. Let me find the one that I really liked. See, you can see some here. This is blue, the Cgi Models, and on the accompanying pamphlet that comes with the Eagle Moss ship, a lot of them have it like that, with the central ovals in purple actually, although here they show up as blue. Point is, there's so many different versions, but the one that I like the best, now I can't find it. Well, it's basically this one. Yeah, like that. But these rectangular portions and pie shapes, they're darkened, and these are orange. Where is that one? I really liked it. It was on this page. Now I can't find it. Maybe it's further down. Okay. Here's a sideways view. As you can see, the patterns are darkened, but the transparent part is red. I can paint that red with alclad reds and transparent reds, and light it with red LEDs as well to make it really red, just like those pictures. Let's see. Oh, wait, this is cool. Finally, reference pictures of the impulse engines. I've been looking for those. They light them red in this build. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. But notice that the windows are white. I mean blue. See, in some versions the windows are blue. So I briefly considered that, but I like the warm white better. So I stuck with that. Well, I can't find it. The version that I saw, the central ellipsis, I wonder if, nope. The central ovals were orange. These central ovals were dark orange, whereas the red was, everything else was red. And it's almost like a ruby red. So that's how I'll be doing it. I like it. It looks more evil than blue. Blue is too reminiscent of Starfleet. And I'll be doing it that way. I'll set up a partition there to block it so I can light it up in red without having it interfere with the other lighting or the other lighting interfering with it. Then this thing has some triangular or pyramidal beacons, which are very unusual and go on the top. Specifically, well, the top and the sides. Specifically here, you can see those little squares. There are some clear pyramids that are glued on there. And what I will be doing is, those are also sort of like a warm white. What I'll probably end up doing is I will drill a small hole in the center, and on the other side I will glue an SMD, a warm white SMD, so it shines through the hole, and place the pyramid on top and see how it looks. It'll probably shine up like a Christmas tree. And then I'll light block the SMD on the inside, probably with some tulip paint, and that'll take care of that. I think that should work very well. So this build is coming along. It's a nice, not too complicated build. I don't believe I need any boards with this. Well, I know I don't need any boards. I don't have any special effects. It's just going to be lights. But it's still going to be pretty nice. The other thing I noticed is the hole where the base arch is supposed to go is actually hollow. So if I can find a brass or steel tube of that diameter to insert through there, I won't need to drill anything out or ruin the ship. It isn't a very big ship, as you can see, compared to my hand. I don't want to drill a big hole in there and put a rod through. So if I can find a tube of that diameter, I'll have it made. It should fit the base as well, the Cardassian Union symbol, which I will then place on top of something else. So it's coming along very well. Anyway, talk to you later. Continuing my Galor class, gotten quite a bit done. Let me show you what I've gone through. I've gone ahead and chosen and painted the hull color, which was basically some of my Spies sun yellow with some white and a smidgen of red to shift it over to the red a little bit. Very close to what I was looking for. In order to achieve some of these differential colorations that you see on the CGI model, or approximated as much as I could, I took a business card and I would just lay it on edge and then spray a little heavier, tapering the paint with the airbrush, creating that feathering effect that you can see there, to give the hull some texture. You can see it from here also. I had glued and completed the tail portion, or so I thought. I had placed some fiber optics at the ends and created the beacons, but then I realized that I missed one of the Pyramidal Disruptors, which goes on top, so I took it off. As you can see, I peeled off some paint, which I'll have to fix. And presently the tail portion is in the freezer, so I can take it apart and add my additional Pyramidal Disruptor. What are Pyramidal Disruptors? Well, they are these, I thought they were beacons, but I looked at the CGI models on the accompanying pamphlet from my Eagle Moss kit, and they're actually disruptors. They're all over the ship. You can see them here. There's one. They're pyramidal because they're shaped like little pyramids, and they're clear parts. They're actual clear parts in the kit, and on the hull you see these little square areas. That's where they're supposed to go. Now I've looked and looked and looked at several different variations, and this ship has just about as many different variations of colors as, I don't know, as any kit I've seen. So I've settled finally on this version from the box art. I kind of like the orangish color for these triangular lights or impulse engines, whatever they are. For the rear impulse engines, which are on the back of this part right there, that's a thin clear plastic part in the back there, and here and here, the back of those wing, those are supposed to be the warp nacelles. I've seen them slightly orangish and I've seen them yellow, so they don't look exactly the same as these. I'm going to make them yellow. I'm going to use yellow SMDs. I'll use orange SMDs for these, and for the disruptors I will use warm white SMDs to match the colors here and to match the colors of the windows, which as you know are warm white LEDs. Here's the tail part. As I was telling you, I made the top beacons only, not the bottom ones. What I did was I drilled off, I cut off and drilled holes on the segment back there, and I'll show you when I get the part disassembled. And I put small fiber optics, which I filed the tips so that they would shine circumferentially, and put small 3mm LEDs, cool whites actually, because these beacons I wanted them to be more cool white, and glued them in place and threaded the wire through and into the body. But then I realized that I was missing that, so I had to take it apart. What else? The impulse engines, here's the parts themselves. There's a clear part that goes there along this edge. Those will be in yellow. I've already drilled a test hole. Here's one of the squares I was telling you about where the Pyramidal Disruptors go. I drilled a hole in the other one already, as you can see, and I put a pyramidal clear piece on there and put a warm white SMD underneath, and it lights it up pretty nice. I'll probably haze them with sandpaper so they look more hazy, like like on the box art and on the reference pics that I've seen, because it's perfectly clear right now and it doesn't diffuse the light sufficiently. Oh, that's right, this is the other thing I meant to tell you. I took, there was a raised detail piece there, and somewhat similar to that, and I'd looked at several different variations where it had a beacon there, or a beacon here, or someplace else. I finally decided to put a single one there, and I drilled a hole and took off the detail part. And I was initially going to take a small piece of fiber optic, mushroom the end, and file it and insert it there, and then just put an SMD on the bottom. But the problem is the tunnel itself is not light blocked, so the SMD light would go right through the tunnel and it would shine right through the plastic back here, making the whole thing illuminated, and I didn't like the way that looked, obviously. I just wanted the light to be on the fiber optic. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to take a 3mm LED, cool white, because the beacons I want them to be cool white to differentiate them from the rest of the things. And I'm going to thread the fiber optic through there, mushroom the tip, and file it, and that way the light will go directly to the tip. There won't be any light going to the plastic tunnel that I drilled there, and hopefully that'll just illuminate that. Where am I going to put the 3mm LED, you might ask? Well, I have no idea. I'll probably end up laying it in here someplace. And to save space, I'll thread the wire out like I did with the tailpiece and solder on the resistor inside the body of the ship. So there's still got a ways to go with the wiring. Oh, the other thing I did was I took a small 3 LED strip of warm white light, and I tested it in here already. Just a single strip. It lights up all the windows on this piece, so that works perfectly. I don't need to do anything else with that. So this little piece alone is going to have the LED strip, it's going to have the beacon, and it's going to have 2 Pyramidal Disruptors. So, oh, and the impulse engine. So it's got a bunch of lights in here for such a small part. Here's the other part, the bottom of the hull. As you can see, I did some differential shading as well. You can see some there. Ship color looks great, and of course you've seen the inside of this already. Here's the red LEDs that I created a light box for to illuminate the deflector slash phaser disruptor that's in the front, which I settled on red for the final color. I've seen it red, I've seen it blue, I've seen it red with purple ovals. This ship just has so many variations, so I've decided I'm just going to do it the way I like it. So anyway, that's what I've done. Coming along nicely. A little bit more complex than I anticipated, but that's okay. I think it's going to look really nice in the end with all the lighting, and it's a nice size model. Once you add the front piece, it comes out to about here, and the tail piece brings it out to about here. So oh, I also ordered small thin steel rods that hopefully will fit through here and will be rigid enough to hold it in place. I'm hoping I can use this hole, which, as I showed you before, is hollow, so I can thread all the wires through there, rather than the flimsy arch piece that comes with the kit, which I don't trust too much. So it's a kit. It's a nice kit. It fits well. The plastic is very solid. Doesn't feel flimsy or ill-fitting or in any way like it wouldn't go together nicely. So if you can get a hold of one of these, I recommend it. It's a nice kit, and I think it'll build out nicely. But I guess we'll find out. Talk to you soon.